If you are new to this channel and enjoy the content that you see, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to be alerted and notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel, along with following me on these social media platforms to stay connected with me at all times. Also, feel free to check out all of your favorite videos and playlists located down in the description box below. Thank you so much for your continued support. Now let's begin. So if you're a Resident Evil fan, then by now you must have probably already heard of the upcoming Resident Evil movie Reboot, set to be produced by James Wan and written by Greg Russo. We have new information as to what is to be expected for the very first Resident Evil movie Reboot, courtesy of MovieWeb.com and ComicBook.com. The following article goes on to detail, as quoted, the Resident Evil Reboot is moving right along. While there is still no indication as to when exactly we will see the new take on the video game franchise be brought to life on the big screen, writer Greg Russo has revealed that a draft of the screenplay has been completed and turned into the studio. Now it's in the hands of the producer James Wan and hopefully a director to bring what's on the page to life in the not so distant future. Greg Russo doesn't have much in the way of the produced work, but he's also worked on the long anticipated Mortal Kombat movie Reboot, which also has James Wan attached to produce. So he's familiar with adapting popular video game franchises into movies. During a recent interview, Russo discussed how he approached the reboot, revealing that he used the game Resident Evil 7 Biohazard as a major influence. Here's what Russo had to say about it. Obviously, I am a huge fan of the franchise, so to work on it was a lot of fun. And they've made 6 films before. When you come back to that and reboot it, you want to do something different and not just rehash. For me, it was very clear cut that I wanted to go back and make it scary again, like a horror film in terms of the classic James Wan style. So that was the pitch. So going back and looking at what made the game scary in the first place, so yeah, Resident Evil 7 was a bit of a touchstone for my draft. Director Paul W.S. Anderson and star Milla Jovovich made 6 Resident Evil movies over a 15-year period. During that time, they definitely evolved into a much more action franchise with zombies and hideous monstrous creatures threatening the world, as opposed to a horror-first approach, which is what the game series originally was popularized for. Biohazard as a game largely brought the video games back to their scary roots, which means those hoping for a more horror approach should likely be encouraged by what Greg Russo has to say. But it's out of his hands now, as Russo further revealed that his time on the project has come and gone. As he quotes, "I had worked on the reboot for about a year, and then producer James Wan came in. My involvement on that project has kind of concluded, and I'm not so sure what they'll really do with it. I'd submitted my draft to the producers and they were happy with it, and ultimately they'll do what they want with the property, but I'm currently not involved in that film." So basically what this implies is that Greg Russo originally was inspired by Resident Evil 7 in coming up with a brand new draft and how to adapt the very first movie, and submitting that prior to James Wan's arrival. Now there's no question that Resident Evil, the first rebooted movie, is going to follow very closely to the original Resident Evil games, but the question is, are they going to go in a different approach in introducing something completely different aside from the T-virus, or are they going to stick with the original concept of the Spencer Mansion? Are they going to adapt a different concept and having to execute a different idea? Right now it looks like they are looking for directors to bring what's on paper to life, and there's no definitive confirmation that this upcoming reboot will indefinitely follow the roots of Resident Evil 7, but whatever was taken from Resident Evil 7, the ideas, the concepts, the characters, and everything that went along with that rough draft may be incorporated in this upcoming movie, depending on if the producers and directors want to either keep these ideas and concepts or change things around. So I definitely feel as if the Resident Evil rebooted series is going to not only supersede but also be better than Paul W.S. Anderson's version of Resident Evil, because the closest thing, and I say that term very loosely, to Paul W.S. Anderson creating a good Resident Evil film was Resident Evil 1, and that's not to knock off the entire franchise, but the entirety of the Resident Evil movie series pales in comparison by a very large margin within the horror community and within the Resident Evil community. So this right here, this movie, has an infinite amount of potential in becoming a very solid franchise if, of course, written and directed accordingly. So the movie right now does does have a rough draft. The only thing that's missing is a director, but I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below as to what you guys expect to see in this movie. What are your thoughts as to what you guys would like to see in comparison to what you expect to see in the film, especially now that we know Resident Evil 7 is a major part of the influence behind the original draft. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching once more. If of course you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, slap a like down below if you guys are excited to see what this reboot has in store, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.